Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. Today I am sharing with you 3 banana recipes to use up those ripe bananas. First up, I'm going to share my tried, tested, and true banana chocolate chip muffins. These are amazing. They never fail. One bowl, you're done. And once you see this recipe for this cake, you're never going to want to make banana bread again. And some breakfast cookies. These received mixed reviews, but I do have a few tips and tricks on how I think we can improve it. Alright, first up, banana chocolate chip muffins. I'm super excited about this one. You can omit the chocolate chips, you could add nuts, you can add whatever filler you want, but it is so foolproof. Fail-safe, I don't know what the right word is here, but they're delicious, they're amazing. I'm trying to remember where I got the recipe and I just can't. It is written in my recipe book, which I will show you guys here in a little bit. And also note that all the recipes will be written or linked down below. First up, we're gonna go ahead and get those bananas in there and mash them up.
There's nothing in this world more primal than my love for you. If you meet somebody else that's a rival, that much is true. Yeah, I know you said, baby, this is final.
The next thing I'm going to do is add my eggs, my milk, and the oil. And I think the reason I really like this recipe is it doesn't use butter and it uses oil. I know for some that might be a deterrent, but for me it just makes my life so much simpler.
I wish my call's gonna reach you. Give it my all, 'cause I need you. Oh, let it go, let it go, let it go till I get you alone. I can't help but howl like a wolf.
I just went ahead and got my dry ingredients all mixed up with my flour. Next, I'm going to add the brown sugar. This is the point when you're making muffins or cake or anything, when you can mix. Get all your mixing out of your system here, because once you start adding the flour, you're going to want to be a little gentler. You're basically only going to combine it, mix it until it's all combined. So I'm going to go ahead and add half of it right now, give it a gentle stir, and then add the rest. And you'll see that I'm not being rigorous. I'm literally just pulling it around so it grabs the flour on the side of the bowl. This is what's going to make sure you don't have tough muffins and tough cookies and tough cake.
Can't keep my pain quiet any longer. Gotta let it out. Are you anywhere near? So I wonder, can you hear me now?
Also, I'm pretty sure I meant to say vigorous. I'm not stirring vigorously, but rigorous kind of works too.
If only you'd come a bit closer, maybe I'll survive. I wish my call's gonna reach you. Give it my all, 'cause I need you. Oh, let it go, let it go, let it go till I get you alone. I can't help but
And now that that's all combined, I'm going to go ahead and fill up my muffin liners. You could fill them more than I did. I just think that they had the perfect little peak on them with this amount that I put in, which is about 3/4 up. I think if you fill them more, you definitely get that bigger kind of bakery style top, which is always fun, but I was trying to get more muffins out of this. I actually ended up with enough batter left over and I made 6 mini muffins, which you'll see at the end of this. You could easily make mini banana muffins exclusively with chocolate chips or nuts. They would be super, super cute. They really puffed up at the end.
I'll be howling and howling and howling for you, babe.
So you're probably wondering why I didn't add chocolate chips to the batter. That's just a personal preference, but if you want to load it up, you do you. Also, don't judge my chocolate chips. I'm aware that they're very old, hence why they look like white chocolate chips right now, but once they cook, they all look the same. You are looking at a very well-used Hilroy notebook from my recipe book. I've got recipes in here from my aunts, my mom, and this one. I'm going to guess that it's Frugal Fit Mom, but I'm not 100% sure. But I do love her banana bread, so chances are I took her banana muffin recipe too. Look at these. Look at them. They're just so delicious. And my bananas were super ripe, so they came out super sweet. I absolutely love this recipe. If you try it, please let me know. go ahead and take a screenshot of my recipe, but I'm going to go ahead and link Frugal Fit Mom's banana bread video down below, just in case you guys are curious about that one too. Now, this is a recipe that I had not tried before, but I have tried several breakfast cookie recipes, so I was very pumped to try this one. I have a lot of ripe banana stuffed into that jar. It did say 2 bananas, roughly 1.5 cups. 2 bananas does not mash into 1.5 cups. I have 3 squished into there and it's just over a cup. So the only issue that I had when making these cookies is unless I got a bite of chocolate chips, they weren't very sweet. Now this is a healthy breakfast cookie, so I get it. It's not supposed to be filled with sugar and all of that. But my recommendation is more bananas, make sure they're extra ripe, and maybe add some maple syrup. That's the only thing. A couple tablespoons of maple syrup in this and it probably would have made them perfect. Now, most of my kids really like these, but again, for me, unless you got a chocolate chip in there, they weren't super sweet. But you see how easy that was? You throw it all in the bowl, you combine it, and now we're going to scoop it onto there with a cookie scoop. This is about the medium size. It's not as big. The thing about these cookies as well is they do not spread, so you do have to push them down just a little bit.
If I gave you my heart, you could tear it apart. And if
Two more things to note that I think kind of altered the state of the cookie for me was that I did use dark chocolate chips because I was trying to keep them extra healthy. I would probably use milk chocolate next time, and I might even throw some raisins in here or dried cranberries, craisins. That would be super good as well. I also was storing them in a container that made them a little extra soft. I prefer them crispy, so if you could just leave them out open in a bowl or something or on a plate, I think that might be better. But again, overall, they went really well in my house. For me personally, with those tweaks, I think I would really enjoy them. Okay, I could not wait to share this with you guys once I made it. I knew I had a winner. I'm so pumped. You will never make banana bread again. You will always make banana cake. You could leave the icing off and it's basically the most moist banana bread you've ever made in your life. And I just finished saying how much I love Frugal Fit Mom's banana bread recipe. Yeah, no, this one trumps it a million times. And I even messed up the butter because it said 1 stick or half a cup. I was reading half a stick. So I put half the butter that was required in this recipe and it was perfect. So I'm going to tell you to leave out half of the butter when you make the cake, when I link the recipe down below, because I don't think it made a difference. It was so moist, delicious. I've had it in the fridge because it's got cream cheese icing, but oh my God, you're going to want to do this. I'm going to have it all linked down below. I just found this on Pinterest. So good. And remember what I said earlier, you want to do all your mix as much as you can before you add the flour. So now that I'm adding the flour, I'm doing it on a low speed, very gently, adding half now, and then I'm going to add the other half, and just until it's all mixed in. Okay, pro tip, I'm just kidding. I just always wanted to say that. I'm not a professional at anything. I just go ahead and clean my beaters off by cranking up the speed and putting my hand in front of it. I don't know if that's very professional, but that's what us home cooks like to do.
Another kind of style. Push me, baby, let's go to the edge. See what Mother Nature brought us today. Yeah.
I just sprayed my pan with some avocado oil spray. You could use canola oil spray, whatever you have around the house. You could use butter, whatever you feel like doing. I didn't need to use flour or anything, and this was very easy to get out of the pan.
It's just a one night stand. 1, 2, 3, oh hey, it's nice to meet you.
Now, in my opinion, opinion, this step is optional. This is the cream cheese icing. It's a block of cream cheese to a stick of butter, which I actually put in properly. I'm whipping it up really nicely. Add as much vanilla as you'd like. And then your icing sugar. It calls for cream, but I just have lactose-free milk because that's how we roll in this house. And it was delicious, but you don't need this. To me, this cake does not need icing. Now, the other icing lovers in my house loved the icing. You could also use a jar of icing. You could use any kind you like. Having the cream cheese icing just really reminded me of carrot cake. That's the best thing. It really reminded me of the most moist carrot cake you've ever had.
Here online, no, no. 8 out of guys on hold. 4, 5, 6 white bread. Oh man.
Keep in mind the timings for all of this is going to vary on your personal oven. Mine took the max time for this cake and actually a couple minutes extra. You can just like pour it out if you can do that. You know what I mean? Take the bowl and use the spoon to push it out as you pour it.
My hand, I dropped the bowl.
Do you have kids? Well, my daughter really wanted to ice this. She said, I'm really good at icing, so here we are. As much, not all of it right away, because I don't know if I need it all, but just. That's good for now.
Take it slow. Got my hand on my soul. It's all so pretty through the phone, but when I see you live, my cap goes wrong. 1, 2, 3, oh hi, nice to meet you. Here online, no, no.
She really is good in the kitchen. She must be like her mama. Okay, I also added walnuts to this, just chopped up walnuts on the top, but I forgot to film that part, but you're going to see that coming up next. You're also going to notice that it looks like the icing is very thick through this glass pan, but when I slice it up, it's the perfect amount. Although for me, again, I could do with half or none. If I can emphasize any recipe in this video, I think you know it's this one. The banana bread cake is what I'm calling it, not just cake, because it is the best banana bread you've ever had. Jacoby even said it tastes like I'm just eating a banana. It was so good. You guys, I hope you enjoyed these recipes. If you try any, please let me know down below. If you have any improvements for me, I will take constructive criticism as well. All right, you guys, I love you all so stinking much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.
The one that's coming from your mouth. Don't mean to turn it upside down.